Hello everybody. I've been trying to think of a way that I can make this video, and I can't come up with any different way than this. So I'm going to start this out with a story. When my 67 Chevelle was first wrecked, it was at a gas station in town, complete. Had a engine transmission in it, had complete interior. The wheels were still on it. But I mean, it was wrecked hard. That car was a U14 car, which is tack and gauges. And, you know, the 67's had a blinker tack. So that got stolen before Dad bought the car back off the guy that he sold it to that wrecked it. Tack got stolen while it was sitting there. But everything else was still there. The gauges, you know, the instrument cluster, the console, the shifter, everything else, and the bucket seats, everything else was still there, but the tack was the one thing that got stolen. He bought it, had it brought back out here, and that's pretty much where it's set, out here. Different places, but it was out here from 1977 until 2020. I started that project in February, so a year ago. When I was probably 9 or 10, my cousin came down, and I think they were down here for a week or so, and he bought off of Dad the cluster out of that car. And it had sat out here for 20 years at that point, and the car by that point around 2000 was already rusty enough that the dash fell out of it. Even it amazes me because the top of the dash is the only one that didn't have holes rusted in it. The rest of them out here, they rusted off at the firewall. I mean, they just fell completely out of it. But that one still had a windshield. So the top part of the dash was okay, but about everything from about midway down just rusted off, and the dashboard fell out of the car, and it was laying on the floor. He bought the cluster just to save it, I guess, and he has a 66 convertible, so I guess he bought it as a backup. He took it apart and did some minor cleanup to it, and just that's where it ended. You know, he didn't do anything else to it. He didn't test the gauges. He didn't do any of that. He took it apart and he cleaned it some, and he painted the bezel. But that's how it sat for 20 years. It just was a part in a box. When I really got into this car, and I decided that I would love to have a tack and gauges dash for this car because it's on the data plate. That's what it had. Dad called up and talked to him for me, and he still had that one. So I am very thankful that I was able to get my car's original speedometer and my car's original gauges. The only thing that's missing out of U14 is the tack. I even have the harness for that tack. I have the harness for the tack. I have the harness for the gauge for a gauge car minus the front clip part of it. I'm very thankful I was able to get that stuff back. So I figured that I would show you really, I guess, the heart of that car, I guess you could say. Now, it was still apart when I got it. I put that together last night, pretty much as soon as I got home. I put that together before I even went to sleep. You see how the white behind the needles is rusty, and the needles have a little rust on them. But that's the original cluster to my car, so the oil pressure gauge will work because it's mechanical, and the temperature gauge works. I mean, the speedometer works because it's mechanical. But I don't know if the fuel gauge and the amp gauge and the temperature gauge will, but I really don't care if they do. I probably won't hook them up. It's all the point of having it. So I've got that. I've got the light switch. I've got, pretty sure, the dash lock. The screws that hold this to the dash. This too. Temperature control. He gave me that. It's a random 396 turbojet fender flag. Door armrest bases. I think this stuff's 66, but radio bezel and glove box piece. I don't know for sure though. That might actually be the one out of my car. Look at the moss. And it's silver. I thought 66 was black. And some white sun visors. Also, it's not a 67 front clip harness, but it's enough of a later model harness that I can make one. I also got an original 67 windshield and a rear window. The rear window matches the windshield. That's a, I guess you'd call that a polarized windshield. And these slots, they're 15 by 7s, and if they fit, which they're the right lug pattern, but if they actually fit the car due to offset and stuff, we're going to put these on the 70. And a spare Super Sport dash trim. So I figured I'd show you that stuff. I hope you guys liked the video. And again, I guess, you know, Wayne, if you watch my videos, I don't know if you do or not, but if you watch my videos, thank you. I'll see you again next time. Let me know what you think. Bye.